It's funny how sneaker hype goes, because one day a shoe could be desirable, everybody wants it, and then the next day nobody cares and nobody's talking about it. I'm gonna talk about the few shoes that came out last year that was supposed to be super crazy, but I'm not gonna lie, they flop. And when I say flop, I'm not only talking about the resale value, but I'm just talking about people's attention span when it comes to that shoe. Nobody's talking about it, nobody's caring, nobody want to spend the bread on that shoe. Let's talk about it. Well, on YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the page. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to an episode of Squin TV, Squin Nation, Squin Fanboy Wagwan. How y'all doing? Hear me out. These shoes, like I said, is not only because the resale value is lower than what we thought, but honestly, I just feel like people are just not talking about this shoe, so I gotta shed some light on maybe explain why. First up, we got the Air Jordan 1 Union. Now, when Union first dropped the Air Jordan 1s, everybody loved the first two colorways, the Storm Blue and the Black Toe. Mwah! Everybody loved it. And now they're dropping 3 more colorways with Fragment. You got the black and white ones, you have the top 3 colorway, then you have the Royals. People seem like they love those, but why did nobody care about the Chicago's? Chicago is the #1 Jordan 1 colorway. Well, to what I hear and everybody's talking about, everybody loved that colorway. So why didn't the Union do good? The previous two that came out, the Black Toe and the Storm Blue, those are going for money on, but these are going for close to retail. Yes, it's still over $200, but the hype is not there. If you like this shoe, you're gonna go after it because it's a dope shoe. I think it's nice. I want a pair, but the hype and the attention to this shoe is definitely gone. Another shoe that was super hyped up but now is getting no attention at all is going to be the Air Jordan 4 SB. Now, hear me out. When the first colorway came out, the pine greens, everybody was loving these. Everyone was saying these are nice and clean. So when we saw the Friends and Family red pair, I was like, oh yeah, if they drop a third colorway for the public, everybody's gonna go crazy. And then they dropped the blue colorway. Everybody was saying, yeah, they're fire, I need them, I love them, because I missed out on these. Until these dropped, and nobody give a damn, nobody care. It's still a dope shoe, it's comfortable, but for some reason, nobody's talking about this or wearing it. I'm not gonna lie, I think either one of these is fire, but the green one is still holding his hype, still holding that value, while the blue one, no hype, no value, nobody really talks about it. It's still a dope shoe, and what I want to tell you guys is don't care about the resale price. If the resale price is trash, that doesn't mean the shoe is trash. Yes, I'm talking about the shoes a flop, but like I said, if you like the shoe, go buy it. I'm just using that as another category on why this shoe kind of, didn't hit the way it was supposed to. Next up is going to be these Air Force Ones with Kobe's face on it. Now, when these shoes first came out, I want to say it was in the early 2000s. This shoe was known as a legendary Air Force. Not to me, but a lot of Air Force collectors love this shoe. So when they finally got the retro, I was shocked that nobody cared about it, and nobody talked about it. The release came and went like a fart in the wind. And to be honest, if you want to pick up this shoe because you want a piece of history and you love Kobe, every single size is going for under retail. Well, majority of the sizes is going for under retail. A 9.5 is going for $130. That is under retail. So if you like a shoe because of the history and of course you're a fan of Kobe, go pick these up. Another shoe that I feel like everybody love, an OG that everybody had a grill status on, is going to be the white cement 4s. When these shoes came out in 2012, everybody wanted a pair. The leather quality wasn't the greatest, so when I know that they was gonna do a retro, I was hyped. I had to get myself a pair. Because don't get me wrong, yes, I still have my old pair, as you see, is aging. I love the look when it's aged, but a lot of people don't, which means I thought they were gonna go after the new pair. But nobody actually did. Yes, they sold out eventually, but these sat around for a long time. And right now, you can pick up a pair for only $260. That is legit only $40 over retail. That is a beautiful and a great price if you technically hold this OG on the grill level. Now, a grill is supposed to be, your favorite shoes of all time, a shoe you just need to have. This was the OG to have. So to see that this shoe dropped with the Nike Air in the back and nobody cared, it blew my spaghetti. And unfortunately, that means the shoe was a flop. Nobody talked about it after it released. Nobody was going after it after the resale value dropped. And I believe that is why a lot of people, I want to say, stray away from certain shoes, because if they make too much of the shoe, if everybody has it, all of a sudden it's not a great shoe. However, there was a lot of black metallic 5s, and that was a GR, and that is still holding its value. So with that being said, I really want to know, is the black metallic 5 a better OG than the white cement 4s? Y'all let me know. And talking about OG, we got the foam pods making a run. But when they dropped the pearls, a lot of people, I don't know why, just wasn't too excited for it. I was excited for it. I still need a pair. The pearls are dope. They are a classic colorway and definitely Nike basketball. But to my surprise, almost every single size is going for under retail on every single platform. You can still get it in Foot Locker, Jimmy Jazz, Hibbits, like those type of places. They still got them on sale right now. You could go on Flight Club or Go and you could get them for under retail. There's so much classic sneakers that flop because nobody actually cared about them. They only like them because they sold out back in the day, and now they're going for a lot. Well, they were going for a lot of money, and that's why they thought they want them. But as soon as they retroed, nobody cared. Another shoe that I think was a flop when it comes to hype and holding people's attention is definitely the Air Max 95 SB. Every single colorway that dropped, for some reason, it just wasn't holding people's attention when it comes to the masses. When it comes to people who just love the shoe, they're gonna go after it, and they're happy that the resale value is under retail. They're happy that you can still get it for retail in some places. They're happy that they're getting a new colorway and more comfort to their favorite shoe. But we're not talking about the collectors. We're talking about the hype beasts, and we're talking about the majority of sneaker lovers. They're not feeling this shoe, especially in the Michigan colorway. That colorway is clean. You can't go wrong with white, blue, and yellow. You can never go wrong with that color. But for some reason, in this shoe, nobody cared. And talking about a shoe that was supposed to be the Air Jordan 4 of 2025, unfortunately got blown out of the water because of the brick by brick. And I don't want to hear nobody say the brick by brick wasn't the Air Jordan 4 of 2025. I feel like a lot of old heads, a lot of sneaker collectors just wanted the undefeated force to be what it was. And unfortunately, it's not. Time just passed, people moved on. The shoe is still great, don't get me wrong, but the hype is no longer there. When that shoe came out, well, matter of fact, let's bring it back. When that shoe got announced, people was hype. When the shoe got a release date, people was hype. When the shoe got released, people was hype. As soon as the shoe finished releasing, as in the very next week, people is going back to the brick by brick. Nobody cared. And I feel like when they dropped that what was it? It's losing my mind right now. When they dropped that survey asking people, hey, what's the best shoe of 2025? And let's vote, that ranking system, everybody wanted to put justice and, you know, make the Air Jordan 4 undefeated feel great again. But in all reality, it fell short to this bad boy. And that's okay. Don't get me wrong. Old hype shoes is still amazing, but the new hype is just as good. And this is now somebody's new Air Jordan 4 grill. This is now somebody's new undefeated 4. Because the undefeated 4 back in the day was going for $33,000. Yes, my friend. We're talking somebody would have somebody would have sold their car. Yes, their car. Somebody would have sold their car for an undefeated 4. Just like how somebody would have sold their car for the Tokyo 5s. Yes, the Tokyo 5 was a shoe that was limited. Super collectible item. And then Jordan and Nike decided we're going to bring out that grail too. And guess what happened? Yes, it's still going for a good amount of resale price, but the hype, the attention, all of that right now is out the window. I haven't seen anybody actually worn those 5s. Maybe when summertime comes around, I'm going to see them more. But right now, for a shoe that used to go for thousands of dollars, is now only going for about, I want to say, 300. Yes, that's more than the undefeated 4, which I'm shocked about, because the undefeated 4 was the shoe to have. But now, is a Tokyo 5, even though the attention is not there and people are not even paying any of those shoes any mind. Now, the next 2 shoes, my brother, but I thought those were going to be the shoes to get. And I'm talking about these bad boys right here, the greatest non-OG Air Jordan 1 of all time. And then these bad boys right here, which is the greatest and the most hyped up shoe of all time, known as the Galaxy Foam Posits. These two shoes got announced that they were gonna get retroed, and everybody was losing their mind. Honestly, I seen it coming, because when this shoe got released, well, when this shoe got announced that it was gonna get released, the resale value of the old pair that came out in 2012 started to tank. And when I say tank, I mean tank. The shoe was once going for $5,000. As soon as it got the announcement, I saw it going for $900, $400. Bro, I was shocked. There's no way the resale dropped that much, but people knew as soon as a retro is coming out, nobody was gonna buy an old pair that's crumbling or an old pair that's about to be unwearable. You could get a brand new pair right here, right now, for a beautiful price of $340. Yes, $340 is still a lot. It's still reselling for something over $100, but this shoe retail for $220. Which means after tax $240. So you're not making a crazy amount of money. So it's not reselling for anything. It doesn't have that much hype factor to it, but it's still a nostalgic shoe. And this is a shoe that Squin had to have. Yes, I had to get this in my collection because this is still a grail level shoe. It's not going for grail level prices, but it's still a shoe that holds dear to my heart because it has a good sneaker history. Now, when we're talking about the Shadow Bat Boys now, this bad boy was my favorite shoe in the collection. If you ever ask me, Squin, what's your top 5 shoes in your collection? This always get mentioned because the Shadow Bat Boys is a great shoe. The quality of this made people started saying, hey, is it Shadow Batmore material? Because if it's not, I don't want it. And nothing will ever be the OG Shadow Batboy material. Yes, I've seen a lot of people compare the new one to this bad boy and said it's very close, but unless you have this in hand, you're gonna know that it's not. And yes, the color is a little bit lighter, like this one right here, like this part right here is not as sale like it is right now. The new pair is a little bit lighter, and I like that. Is a difference when it comes to the shoe, which means I gotta pick it up. My pair is beat to the ground. You see the stain right here? This shoe holds a story to my heart. Let me break it down to y'all. So the scratches in the back of this shoe is because when this shoe first came out, I started wearing it every single time I went on a trip. Anytime I went to Jamaica, this shoe was on my feet. This is a shoe that has a lot of memory to me. This shoe has a lot of memory in it, and that's why I love it. And I would never just, throw it away because the new one is coming out. I'm always gonna love the OG, and I'm always gonna wear the OG. It doesn't mean that I don't want the new pair, because at some point, this is going to, at some point, the outsole is gonna get stiff, and I might not be able to wear it. That's why I'm gonna need a new pair. And that's why I feel like people should not be upset when old hype comes back out. There's gonna be a lot of shoes that Nike release out the vault, and I am happy because all those shoes right now are unwearable. So why wouldn't you be happy? Yes, a lot of these shoes are flop. Yes, a lot of the shoes that's going to drop that used to be hype will flop. It doesn't matter. Yes, the title is, oh my god, hype shoes are no longer hype. It doesn't mean I'm bashing the shoe. I'm just giving you guys an insight of shoes that was hyped up to the max, that's not going for anything. Nobody's paying them attention. You could get them for a great price. That is the real purpose of this video. Not to be like, haha, these shoes are trash. Why are you getting them? They're no longer hype. We moved on. No, people could move on to newer hype shoes. But when it comes to the classics, when it comes to a nice storytelling, they're gonna always win. And I'm happy that these shoes got a retro, and I'm happy that they're flop, because now somebody who always wanted the Galaxy foams but didn't want to spend $7,000-$8,000 can now pick them up for $400. Save a few money with your checks, and you could get a grill of your dream. But yo guys, that's the end of the video. Like I said, I just wanted to shed light on some shoes that was hyped up to the max, that's not going for nothing. Nobody's paying them any mind, so you could go back and go pick these up. No bash, no shame, because I'm definitely gonna pick up some of these shoes. Matter of fact, I'm gonna drop a video of all the shoes that I need to go back and cop, because I missed out on a lot last year. But besides that, guys, love, manas, and always respect. Until next time, Magang.